got a little bit of a problem. I have to basically make a decision. This is a bad move. Hey, what is up, everybody? I'm out here again for another overnight adventure. Got the canoe out, got my nice little buddy Killian with me. We're paddling over a big stretch of open water here, so we are going out to explore a local island archipelago. We got Mr. Captain Scuttlebutt back over here. I'm on my way to the very first island. This is a little bit precarious. Killian is not super acclimated to the canoe yet. Trying to paddle and film it and keep him comfortable is a little bit of a challenge. I'm gonna get to the first island and then we'll check back with you in a sec. The waves are pretty wild. The wind isn't that high. The waves are just really pretty gnarly today. And at some point it's almost like being on the shore, how high the waves are. Come on, Stinker. Come on. All right. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm out here today with my good buddy, Killian. Go get him, buddy. We are out here today exploring and camping overnight on this island archipelago. It's just outside of the city. There are 3 islands, I believe. So we're gonna be checking them all out. I don't know exactly how this video is gonna go. I just threw the drone up and I was having a heck of a time trying to get good footage of the place. We'll see how it all turns out. No matter what, we're gonna have ourselves a good time. We're gonna cook up a good dinner, gonna enjoy all this beautiful nature, spend some time, just a man and his dog, maybe get a little fishing in, have ourselves a nice big fire. But before I do any of that, I gotta take a little nip off of the old banana flask. Gosh darn it. Woo! That was in the banana flask. I have 2 of them. I don't remember what that one is. Mystery whiskey, mystery bourbon. Okay. All right, everybody, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so this is all ready. Kind of gnarly. I can see. Well, I'll take you over here and I'll show you. You can see like a old tire rim, the metal part, and a stool, some kind of a shelf, kind of makeshift shelf, and a grill. So already that's signs that somebody is camping in this location. But if we just cross to the other side of the island real quick, unfortunately we got some garbage here. You always see that. But we have some very serious signs of camping here. There's somebody's like a crab net or crawdad net or something here, some kind of a fishing net. Tell me if you know what that is in the comments. I've kind of seen it, I don't know exactly what it is. Look at that. I have been wanting to come back out here for a while. Somebody's built this type of situation up back here, hanging their pots and everything over here. It's a crazy tipped over tree here. This is absolutely wild looking. Look at this, you can see all the graffiti over here. So you can see here, there's that tree, and then there's just a big old beach going this way. It is pretty freaking cool, I'll say. Exploring the rest of this little beach here. somebody has dumped a massive, like a tractor tire offshore here. And hopefully you can see it okay, but that is our next island right there. So it's not a super far, but you can see the wind and the waves are working against us. We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. All right, well, continuing this way, we just have some super thick reeds. So that's the end of that island for us. Back up here, this could be something cool to look at. Nothing too crazy here, but it's just like a nice little flat spot. And then that would be your view, camping. Oh, wow. And we just got all this nice open space up here. Oh man, look at that view. That is cool. So then we got some more signs of campers. Unfortunately, we got some beers, yada yada. Unfortunately, yeah. We got this crazy hole. I assume this is from a tipped over tree, although I don't see any pieces of a tree around. So kind of looks like it was dug out for some reason. I don't know why anyone would do that. Although I will say that I am constantly baffled by things that people do in the wilderness. Jug hanging off of a tree here. Looks like little tiny holes in there. So I'm gonna assume this is target practice with a pellet gun or something like that, maybe a 22 or something. Okay, well, that's certainly pretty interesting. Okay. All right, well, I think that about does it for island number one. It's quite cool. Looks like the beach does keep going this way a bit. That's pretty cool as well. Whoop. Yeah. Well, let's have a little walk on the beach here. Another tire. No clue what that is. Okay, well, you can see this is kind of interesting. We got that boat behind us. Killian, come on. Looks to be somebody out here duck hunting. See like those artificial ducks and just different supplies and stuff. At first I thought that was like a boat that washed up here, but I don't think so because it looks like it's tied to the tree over there to anchor it. So there may be somebody here duck hunting. All the way at the very other tip, I could see, I didn't get super close to it, but I could see that there was some duck lure type of situations as well. So all good. We've kind of done our exploring and what we needed to do, and we're gonna get the canoe, we're gonna paddle around to the other side, and we're gonna position ourselves to move over. The wind keeps going up and down and back and forth, so I'm not exactly sure so I just want to make sure that we're in position and ready to go when the wind is at its lowest. I think we'll be perfectly fine to get over there no matter what. But we might as well make it as easy on ourselves as possible. So that is the first of 3 islands down. This is Indian Island, and we are well underway on our adventure. Oh, Killian just went crazy. Chased a raccoon up into a tree. I didn't know what the heck he was doing. Looked around, saw he had chased a raccoon way up in the top of a tree. So I'm gonna go ahead and get everything packed up, paddle around to the other side, and then get back with you when we're ready to depart to the other way. Well, I'm all packed up and trying to hit the road here, and I can't seem to find Killian. I don't know where the heck he went. Let's see if I can track him down. Killian, come in. Woof, woof. Killian, where are you? Killian, do you read me? Woof. I like treats. Woof. I'm just joking. Dogs can't use two-way radios, but you can. And if you're looking for a great two-way radio, you can check out the Retevis HA1G. The Retevis A-Lance is a rugged and long-range IP67 waterproof GMRS two-way radio that offers an array of features designed for outdoor enthusiasts, ham radio operators, preppers, etc. Ham radios like this can be used normally in wet and dusty environments. This radio has an IP67 waterproof rating, which means that it can be submerged in 1 meter of water for 30 minutes and still operate fine. It also has a ton of juice with a built-in 2800 milliamp battery with Type-C charging. This radio can effectively support 20 hours of continuous use in an outdoor activity. This 5-watt GRMS ham radio allows you to smoothly communicate within a 350,000 square foot radius. 12 NOAA weather channels offer the latest weather information to you, allowing you to adjust your plans accordingly. The various alarm modes also ensure your safety during outdoor activities. The 1.77-inch colorful screen and adjustable brightness provide convenience for checking the current working channel and battery conditions during day and nighttime usage. Sub-pit design supports transmitting to 2 different channels without switching. And VFO mode allows you to input the various frequencies manually without needing a computer. Make sure you check the link in my description and the pinned comment below if you'd like to learn more and to receive a special discount. Once again, thank you to Retevis for helping me keep the lights on. All right, everybody, let's get back into the action. All right, we are crossing this big body of water. Got Captain Scuttlebutt in the back here, and we're on our way to island number 2. Whoa. Okay, this is getting crazy. We're getting some wild swells here. We are getting to that first patch of shore, and we're getting out of the boat. This is a little more than we bargained for here, especially with all this equipment in the boat. And also with Killian in the back, I gotta be a little more careful than when I'm alone. Oh my goodness. All right, we're getting there. Shouldn't be on the water for more than another minute or 2. Woo! Jeez Louise. Oh, we're almost there, man. Come on now. Come on. Oh my God, you gotta be kidding me now. Killian, don't you dare jump out of this boat. Woo! That's all right. That's all right. We're just having fun. My God. Well, this is the adventure I was looking for, I guess. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Water was super calm when I started this paddle. Oh, it just changes real fast out here on Lake Erie. I'm just paddling on one side because it wants to spin me that way. So I don't know if it's how I have the weight distributed in the boat or the wind or what it is exactly, but one stroke on that side, it goes that way quick. Whoa! Jeez. Killian? Okay. All right, we're getting to the beach, and we're gonna set up camp, stay in the night. Whoa, Nelly. Almost there. Almost there. It's not much further. Okay. Oops, sorry, buddy. We are almost there. Woo! Jeez Louise. Okay. Killian, stay in the boat, buddy. All right, well, I got the boat back there chilling. We're gonna have a look around here. We already hiked all the way down there. Just taking a look around and not much to see. Maybe we'll try to push forward a little bit more. Back over here is an obvious campsite. Show you guys a little bit of a close-up in here. And just like a plank sitting there, some rocks. We could fashion into a fire pit, some charred wood. Looks like actual real firewood that people brought out here. Somebody's cutting that up. A rope around the tree for whatever reason. And some more charred firewood. So yeah, this is a nice big open spot, but it's also relatively sheltered by all of these trees and brush and everything from the wind. That was a little much crossing that. So Killian and I are gonna have ourselves a nice little sit down here and catch our breaths and you know, kind of assess the situation here. We'll check back with you in a bit. Morning when I left the house, it was showing a very light chance of rain. So you know, I've got my tent and my poncho and everything, but now just as soon as I got here, I checked the weather and it looks like we got a nice little storm coming in. I'm not 100% sure. You know, you never can trust the things. But if it says it's about to come down hard, we're gonna go ahead and get the tent set up. Looks like that the rain will not be subsiding, if the forecast is correct, until it gets dark. So this is it. This is where we're staying. Fun stuff. We'll get our tent set up here. We'll get everything inside of it. And we'll just see how it plays out here, you know. If we got to hunker down for a minute, we got a nice roomy tent, plenty of room. Me and old Captain Scuttlebutt here, huh? Yeah. So there's the canoe. Everything is out of it except for my fishing equipment. And this is what's pushing in our way. So this should be fun. All right, so here's the tent. I had to stake it down into the sand, which is really not ideal, but I wasn't, I was hoping to find a place with dirt, or else I was going to carve up some larger steaks, which doesn't take a ton of time, but I don't have a ton of time. So yeah, that part's still open because we'll just go in that way. I've got us tied off to this big huge log on this side, so I feel a lot more comfortable with that integrity. Yep, and here's the back. I guess we'll just go ahead and hunker down for a bit, and we'll see what happens. Well, tent's right there, ready to be jumped into at a moment's notice. See if I can carve up some of these steaks. Get us a little bit better secure here. Let's get this off. I don't want this getting stuck and getting in the way while I'm using a knife here. Okay. There's one. All right, there's two. All right, there's three. Okay. I don't have a ton of time to make a new loop here. We're just gonna push the loop of this through there, and then it's stuck like that. And then I'll just go ahead and get that into the ground there. That should stay just fine. That's a lot better. All right, it's the same thing. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than it was, that's for sure. Oh yeah, that is okay. So that's a good excuse to fix this one. Now that's not going anywhere. Boom. It's a lot better than it was, that's for sure. This thing will probably work a lot better, actually. Oh, Nelly. Much faster. Let's see how that plays. You can see that's a lot better. Get down in there. Oh, I'm feeling dropped. And that's it. That's all we had time for. Time to get into the tent. There you go. I don't really need the net right now. I'm gonna tie the net up for filming sakes. Whew, it's warm in here. How you doing, buddy? Okay, we are in the tent, aren't we, buddy? Yep, you can hear it. Here we go, boys and girls. All right, well, we might not get much of anything. We might get a little brief storm. I don't know what's gonna happen. It's always better safe than sorry. So, we'll see, see what happens here. For now, we're just gonna kind of hunker down and take a little load off. I'm always nervous about bringing him, kind of in general, but especially on canoe trips, and it's something that I want to incorporate him more into, because he's such an adventure dog. He's so energetic and adventurous, and he just loves to get after it, and he just really has a blast when he's out here, you know. I have a little doggy life jacket for him, and at the last minute today I tried to put it on him, and he's just kind of, I got it from him a long time ago. It used to fit him, but now it doesn't, so I gotta get him a new one. So he didn't have a doggy life jacket, so I just had a harness on him, so if he fell out of the boat, I could grab him and throw him back in the boat real quick. But I think in the future we're definitely going to want to get him a doggy life jacket, so I won't be bringing him on the canoe again until we have that. It's not like they're super expensive or anything, but yeah, this isn't too much of a storm. It's just a light rain, and to be honest, it's pretty relaxing. I think little Killian and I are just gonna chill in the tent here, wait it out, and do some more, get into the other parts of the camping after this rain passes here. Okay, this was the you know, sleeping quilt that I brought for Killian, so I'm going to go ahead and open it up for a little guy. He seems a bit tuckered out. Alright, well, he keeps jumping all over the place, so I'm going to let him stay there, and if that's where he wants to stay, he can stay, but I'm going to get out of the tent. Might as well get the chair out. Killian just got to go everywhere I go, which is perfectly fine. Alright, we got a little bit of a problem, and I'm going to have to talk to you guys about that in a second here. Hi! Hi! Now, before I get into my problems, just take a look at how gorgeous that is. Hi! Yeah. Well, somebody's still having fun. Oh, goodness sakes. Alright, so the dilemma that I am currently facing is unreliability on the weather forecast for the day. Yeah, that wind was not supposed to kick up like that until tomorrow. I was watching that forecast for days, and I knew that tomorrow is supposed to be extremely windy. I had to rush to get everything in order to be able to make it here today. Double checking the wind forecast, it looks like what's going to happen is we're going to get to a place around 9 o'clock where it becomes pretty placid, a lot more toned down than even we're at now. But then before it's even light in the morning, the wind's going to get pretty gnarly. We're talking about gusts up to, you know, into like the mid 30s or so, and the wind's going to be pushing directly. It'll be a headwind, that's what you call it. It's going to be pushing opposite of the way I need to go, so I'll be paddling into it. So, you know, if I was by myself, I would just say, well, I'm not going to worry, you know, whatever. I'll have a crazy morning getting out in the morning. Come on, buddy. Come here, buddy. Ugh. But I got this guy to contend with, and I got to make the safest decision for him. I have to basically make a decision. Either I can wait until the morning and I can paddle out in the light with the crazy winds, or I can try paddling out in the dark and the water will be super, super calm. Even right now, it's super calm. If it stayed like this in the morning, I'd have no problems whatsoever. I'm gonna go ahead and make a little fire, and I'm gonna cook my dinner, and he's gonna have some dinner, and we'll think it over and we'll figure out what we're gonna do. Now I know some people are gonna look around and see how much light is left and go, just go now, just jump out and go now. By the time I tear everything down, I mean, I've got a max of 10 minutes. This is the very, very, very wee hours of dusk here. So by the time I could possibly be on that water, it is gonna be pitch black dark. So either I can hang tight and figure out what I'm gonna do, or I can wait till the morning and try to battle it. So yeah, that's what we're contending with. So I'm gonna go ahead and have my fire right in this little crevice, because I think that's probably the safest, rather than having it back there around a bunch of trees and a bunch of debris. I mean, when you're camping in the woods, sometimes you have to do it that way, but since I have this option, I think I'll just do it just like this. We just had daylight savings time, so we're a day or two past that, and I'm gonna have to make note of that and really make sure I get out a lot earlier for these camps. Luckily, I have the option to do that. Gotta put water in his food when we're camping sometimes, just so I can get him. Good boy. Just so I can get him to drink water. Good boy. Go ahead. Whew, bon appetit. Okay, well, I made my decision. We're leaving. I'm outie fi thizzle. If I was alone, that's a totally different story, but with the dog being here, you know, I gotta make the best decision to keep him as safe as possible. So, I've got a plan, and gonna show you how it's all coming together, so stick with me. I'm taking you with me on this journey. Let's do it. I gotta finish putting a big camera back in here. I'm filming on it right now, but I really want you guys to see this because it's dark. The water is really calm, very, very calm compared to what we dealt with earlier. I have a headlamp on right now. I have a backup headlamp in my pocket, a little tiny guy. I haven't really done a ton of this with Killian in the canoe before, so I'm still kind of getting the hang of it. I wanted him in the front, but this thing swivels, and that's kind of how I film myself, is on his arm, so I knew it would be a big pain in the butt and it would be stressing him out. So in order to film myself, I have to put it like this. I'm not gonna be super worried about it this time. I'm gonna get him in the front, and then I've got a cord, and I'm gonna tie onto his harness with some paracord onto my life jacket. I hope that makes sense. I'm trying to explain it as best I can. Then I'm gonna have him directly in front of me, so if he tries to get too close to the edge or any of that type of stuff, then I think I'll be able to steer him back into the right direction. So I feel pretty safe about it. We're taking you guys with us. Okay, let's do it. This is the first island, so we've made it here. I can see the cars driving past over in the distance there. Killian's just kind of poking around, having some sniffs. This is the sandy beach on the point of the island. I'm basically about halfway, so I just got to do what I did already one more time, and we are out of here. Not much longer. Not much longer. We'll be back to the car. Kind of an eerie feeling being all the way out here like this. And somebody is ready for bed. But you can tell he's not panicking and he's not upset. He's just chilling. So I went the wrong way. And now I'm in this shallow little dealie, but I'm not too far away from where I need to be. I think I can correct this in about 5 minutes. Okay, I think I found a little shortcut here. See if we can get through here. This is very shallow. This is going to cut a bunch of time off of my trip here. Okay, we're backing out of here because it's going to be this is a bad move, so that's okay. Nothing bad happened. We're perfectly fine. I can get out of here. It's just a little marsh. No biggie. Plenty of... Good, and it stinks too. Alright. Well, you live and you learn, I guess. There. Oops, sorry, buddy. Okay, now we're back on track. All right, there we go. You ready to get out of here, buddy? Pretty cool. See how calm that water is? It's not gonna be like that in the morning. So just up there, right over to the right, and then we're done. You ready to be done, buddy? There is a super bright light shining right there. I don't know what the heck that is. Hopefully, nothing too bad. Good boy. All right, we're back in the car. Killian's sitting right here next to me. He's ready to get the heck out of here. We made it. We're safe. Everybody's fine. Want to say a big thank you to each and every single one of you. Appreciate you watching the video this far. Every single one of you make it possible for me to do this. So thank you so much. Woo! That's another one in the books. Sometimes they shake out like that, you know. If you liked what you saw and you'd like to see more, I would greatly appreciate it if you would click that banana. We're going to catch you on the next one, everybody.